Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna play some Eternal Gory. So last time we went off, we went and did Uria's his route, his chapter 1. So we're gonna do now chapter 2. Chapter 2, his realm. I'm coming in, Digiwave. Though entering the room without the owner's permission is quite rude, at this moment I could only welcome his decision. Digiwave? He's here. Half conscious, I weakly gazed at him as he came into view. I was completely drained, without even the strength to move a finger. You look You look in very bad shape. Fud, fud. From the sound of the footsteps, I knew he was coming towards me. Please help me. If I were my usual self, I would have been extremely wary of him approaching me to avoid revealing the curse. But now I was on the verge of death, as I was about to hurt innocent people. Help me. Finally, after summoning every last bit of strength, a faint voice slipped from my voice. Even he, who had been trying to assess the situation, couldn't just stand there any longer and immediately rushed towards me. And at the same time, my flickering vision turned completely black. It feels so cold. When did it start? When did my body, which had been burning like it was drenched in oil, begin to cool down and calm? What's happening? As my mind gradually cleared, I tried to recall the moments before I lost consciousness. But despite my growing clarity, nothing came to mind. Finally giving up on remembering what happened, I forced my heavy eyelids to open. Oh, he's helping us. Oh, he's using magic. After several attempts, my trembling eyes began to open. Although I couldn't see clearly yet, I could at least make out a figure in front of me. Is that Uria? I can't pronounce his name. Silver-haired, golden-eyed man looking down at me, half cradling me, placing his hand on my forehead. It's healing magic. Realizing the cold sensation was flowing into my forehead, I let a deep sigh of relief and accepted it as much as his healing magic as I could. My heavy breathing gradually returned to normal. When I closed my eyes and opened them again, my vision finally sharpened. I love his design. But the moment of relief from having my sight restored was brief. The instant I saw his cold, stern expression, a chill ran down my spine. What kind of expression is that? Confused, and slightly furrowed my brow. You finally woken up, Digiwave. But in the next moment, as the stern look had been seeing was a mere illusion, his expression softened instantly. I think it was looking stern because he's trying to heal us. What, did I see that wrong? It seems your body's weaker than I thought, Digiwave. I had to switch between several healing spells before one finally worked. Let's see. Your fever's gone down, and your breathing is back to normal. Seeing your core return is something more human-like. It seems my healing magic worked well. Still, just to be sure, I should ask the person directly about their condition. Is there any pain or discomfort? Let me know, Digiwave. No, I'm fine. It seems like my voice is coming back. So I think you're really okay. You're really okay now. It's a relief. It's a relief. My magic worked well on you, Digimon. Thanks to you, I survived. Thank you, Lord. My lord. I'll get there. I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name right now. By that point, strength had returned to my limbs. My legs began to respond, and I realized I no longer stay in his arms. I quickly tried to sit up on my own, but wait, Digimon. Suddenly, he called my name and gently placed pressure on my arm, preventing me from getting up. This is bad. If you ask too much questions about my condition. Even though using healing magic on me was unavoidable, staying in contact with the head of the Divine Ministry was dangerous. Of the advanced and supreme level spells I knew, there were more than a dozen that could be cast through physical contact. And who knows how many other stream spells he could cast while I'm unaware of. I can walk now. You don't need to help me anymore. I became increasingly anxious, worried that he might bring up the curse again. Solely worried that someone might have taken off my gloves while I was unconscious, I quickly looked down to my right hand. Fortunately, the glove was still intact on my hand, but that didn't mean my unease completely went away. You could take it back off, took it off, and then put it back on. Really, you don't need to support me anymore. I'm fine. Are you worried that I might use underhanded methods to find out more about you, Digimon? I won't deny it. Then don't worry. I have no intentions of probing why you were in such a state. Oh, he's kind of sweet. He's definitely still curious. Even while you were unconscious, I focused solely on healing you. I didn't use any strange magic. Oh. You're still the better. You're definitely the better route. I didn't know how to respond to that. I can't thank him, but I also can't ask why he didn't use underhand methods. You seem quite curious about my actions, Digimon. Well, it's alright to ask questions. If you have them now, there's no need to hesitate. Besides, from the start, you've been a mystery big enough to baffle the heads of all three organizations in this land. Well, that's above all. Our deal was that you would cooperate with me only if I arranged for you to meet the land's god. Like I said, there's no need to be so wary of me. Well, it seems you're fully covered, so I'll let you go now. As soon as he stepped back, I collapsed onto the bed. Though I was confused by everything, I knew I had to properly close the situation. I don't know why he came to check on me, but thank you. I made it through the crisis. I'm truly grateful for that. It was fortunate I came at the right time. Since it's your first time staying at the Divine Ministry dormitory, I stopped by to see if you had any discomfort. It seems I arrived just in time to help. And now it's time for me to take my leave. I hope you have a peaceful night, Digimon. With a slight wave and gentle smile, he left the room. Phew. After he left, I let out a long sigh of relief and crawled under the blankets. Having nearly survived a dangerous ordeal, the tension quickly drained from my body, and sleepiness overcame me. Hoping to get through the night safely, as he had occurred, I soon drifted off into deep sleep. Do you even realize how badly my son got hurt because of your daughter? How are you going to take responsibility? My son almost lost his entire arm, so how will you make that right? Make this right. Please stop, please stop. It was a terrible day when I was 12 years old. No, to be exact, it was a memory of that day. The evening of the day I lost my parents. In this case, Digiwave is clearly at fault. It was a situation where the entire Primary Academy could have gone up in flames, so it's beyond something I can handle on my own. So, as Digiwave's parents, you need to take on a significant amount of responsibility. Responsibility? Before talking about responsibility, you should make sure your daughter gives my son a proper apology. The professor, who had turned a blind eye to my brain constant bullying. So he came to our house with his parents. Digiwave, go to your room. But it's okay. Your father and I will handle this. Just wait in your room. We'll bring you good news soon. My mom patted my head and gently pushed me into my room on the second floor. And shortly after, the professor from the academy and his parents arrived. That's when I realized exactly why I had to stay in my room. As soon as the door burst open, I heard the shouting and angry voices. I pressed my pillow tightly over my ears. Where's your daughter? Where is Digiwave? Who did this to my son? But it wasn't enough to completely block out the furious yells on his parents, who were livid. Please, please. My hands clutching the pillow were trembling. With my face buried in the bed, I began to cry, wishing for those free people to leave our house. But in the end, not only did I suffer from the high fever last night, but I also had a terrible nightmare. As morning came, still feeling half asleep, I managed to get dressed for work at the Divine Ministry. Digiwave, are you inside? Ori? As soon as I heard Ori's voice from outside, I quickly opened the door. With a gentle smile, as if she had been waiting for me, Ori quickly got to the point. The Lord has summoned you, Digiwave. Excuse me? He called for me? Why? I didn't hear the details, so you have to ask him directly, Digiwave. Still feeling quite confused, I followed her to his office early in the morning. Welcome, Digiwave. Standing before both of our before my direct superior and the highest ranking officer, I cautiously asked the question that has been bothering me. You could have summoned me through her, as you did today. Why did you personally come to see me last night? She needs to rest at night, Digiwave. But what, you don't? But still, I didn't expect the head of the Divine Ministry to personally come and see someone as low-ranking as me. It seems you need more convincing explanation, Digiwave. Alright, I suppose I could explain it for her. As you come to learn while working here, I'm not only the head of the Divine Ministry, but also the Day Warden of the land. Why are you up all night then? Because of that, I can't leave my post during the day, so I usually handle office duties or summon people for my aides. It's personal. If it's personal, I move at night. So you're saying that as a day warden, you have more freedom at night? That's right. The night warden is someone else, and it's like, so you don't get stressed. I'm a being who doesn't harmonize well with the night, so the night doesn't welcome me. Don't worry, not in bed at night. That's why I can personally visit you at night, unlike during the day. So I couldn't fully understand everything he was saying. Neither can I. Especially the part about not harmonizing with the night and the night not welcoming him. It was difficult to even guess what he meant. Does the expiration suffice? No. At least I couldn't understand that he had more freedom at night, so I quickly nodded. I figured there was no point in asking for her, so I wouldn't understand the answers anyway. Excuse me. Oddly enough, it wasn't me who seemed to be more confused by the new information, but her, who had been quietly listening next to me. May I ask about what you just discussed with Digimon? Did you really visit Digimon last night? Yes, that's correct. Her complexion paled as his straightforward answer. She's like, you should do that to me. However, being a professional that she was, she quickly composed herself and carefully addressed the situation from last night. If you moved personally, it must have been a significant issue, and it seems like it evolved Digimon. But if there was a problem and the Divine Ministry protective magic didn't activate, that's a very serious matter. Could you let me know what happened to Digimon? About that. If it's difficult to share with me, perhaps we should call the head of the Reaper Corps. Oh, no, anything about that. If your protective magic fails to detect an issue in advance, I suggest more instability in the magic. Though it's uncomfortable, the head of the Reaper Corps is best suited to. Or Mio. It's like, no. His sharp interruption, along with his cold expression, was enough to make even my heart race in fear. I know how much you care for me and Divine Ministry, but I can't overstep your boundaries. No matter what happens, the Divine Ministry of the land is entirely under my domain. It wouldn't be for anyone uninvited or unauthorized to trespass my realm, would it? I sincerely apologize. It's just that it's such an unprecedented event. I acted without thinking. That's right. There's no need for your emotions to get ahead of you. After she realized her mistake, she apologized for overstepping. He smiled kindly and forgave her. Sorry, Digimon. You have to witness something unpleasant. No, it's fine. In any case, I called you here to check if you're feeling alright after last night. You seem to be in good health, so you can proceed with your task now, Digimon. Yay, we get to work now. I will assist Digimon with the training process. Thank you. Alright, Digimon, follow her and begin your work. I already created a position for you as assistant who doesn't need to use magic, so I trust you can handle as well. Wait, the position was created in less than a day? It's like, yeah, last chapter. Oh, but I do need to warn you about something. You're free to go between the Divine Ministries and the Holy Knights, Digimon, but not the Reaper Corps. But under no circumstances should you enter the Reaper Corps, which is overseen by Heisen Cornwall. For the time being, for the best. If any task related to the Reaper Corps comes to Digimon, handle them yourself. Understood. Alright, that's all for me. You may go. Now. Come on, Digimon. Come with me, Digimon. Although his last words stirred many questions in my mind, I didn't have the chance to ask as she led me out of his office. Excuse me. Do you have a question, Digimon? Well, it seems like the Divine Mistress handles things very quickly. I only applied for entry yesterday, but I already became his assistant. How is that possible? That's because he moved personally. But no matter how quick it may be, isn't the Divine Ministry one of the organizations of the gods? Is it really possible to act this swiftly without divine permission? So that's what you're curious about. Well, as you know, the gods of the land left behind their traces and disappeared. Of course, the fact that the land still exists means that the gods are still around in some form, but right now, it's the free organizations that were left behind that lead this world. Sorry, sneeze. Okay, I'm done. In our words, the heads of the free organizations are essentially the proxies of the gods. Proxies of the gods? Does that mean the free heads are similar to the gods as well? Well, I don't know about that. From what I heard sing of him, he's never mentioned having any direct contact with the gods. Oh, does that clear up your question? Makes more. Yes, it helped a lot, thank you. I nod, hiding my disappointment. Alright, Digitalife, now I'll show you how to review and process documents as his assistant. It might be difficult at first, but with steady effort, you'll pick it up quickly. After that, I spent the entire day learning the ways of divine ministry from her. Luckily, I had kept up my studies at the orphanage, so I was able to pick up the work relatively easily. She seemed quite surprised at how quickly I adapted, especially when she saw how extensive my knowledge of magic was. Digitwave, you have studied the academic side of magic extensively. He mentioned that due to the certain reasons you're currently unable to use magic. But even so, your knowledge is truly vast, reaching the level of the only graduates from top academies would typically possess. It's not easy to gain such extensive understanding on your own. I'm just book smart on it. Well, I've been interested in magic since I was young, so I suppose that's why. Come to think of it, the recommendation letter from the professor at Premier Academy did mention that you used to handle magic very skillfully as a child. She was so excited that she continued talking without giving me a chance to respond. Oh, you don't need to worry. Only him and I know they didn't start off unable to use magic, but end up that way for some reason. The missions officer didn't even bother to properly look at your application or recommendation letter. Haha. Yeah, I kind of figured. Should I be grateful or upset about that? Oh, there's one more thing I want to ask. Since you received a recommendation letter from the foremost 40s in magic, are you also an alumni of Premier Academy like me? Wait, was she one of my classmates? I had been half listening to her praises, but the next moment, I froze completely. As I looked straight at her, I realized something important. She wasn't just making small talk. She was, she was gauging me. She seemingly friendly smile was hiding something. I had a distant feeling that she'd already suspected who I was. Oh, she was one of my classmates. If she's from the Premier Academy, then she's likely heard about the incident between me and him. Siphon. Lying won't work here. I don't want to go for the same situation I did with him when my why was exposed. Letting out a heavy sigh inward, I resolved to speak the truth. Yes, I did attend Premier Academy for a while. For a while? Does that mean there's more to the story? I was enrolled, but I didn't graduate. I see. Under the sharp gaze, her smile became even more unsettling. Did you leave by choice, or was there something unfortunate incident? Oh, she knows. And at that moment, I was certain. She knew exactly who I was and had no intention of hiding it. Yes, there was a very unfortunate incident. I was expelled. Expelled, huh? if we're talking about the student around your age being expelled, there's only one student that comes to mind. A girl who had a falling out with the Schreifen signals and ended up starting a fire at the academy. Everyone remembered it as an unexpected incident now, but at the time I was deeply interested in that event. So you were the girl, Digimon. No wonder your face seemed familiar when I first saw you. I suppose that means your relationship with Siphon Shinos isn't exactly admirable. Nope, I hate the guts. That could be dangerous. What do you mean by dangerous? Siphon Shinos is currently active in the Reaper Corps. Oh, at least I don't have to go in the Reaper Corps. It is fortunate that he has forbidden you from working on any task related to the Reaper Corps, but still be careful, Digimon. I wonder what happens when we go for the Reaper Corps guy now. Are we gonna get have a meeting with Shifen Cernos is just as temperamental, no eccentric, as the head of the Reaper Corps himself. Shifen. It kind of reminds me that technically probably sounds more like the S word. Hearing about Shifen just before the end of the day was unfortunate. After she told me about him, I was completely overwhelmed with confusion. I never imagined he had actually joined one. Looks like I really must avoid the Reaper Corps, just as he said, warned. And the head of the Reaper Corps must be that man in the red shirt, the one who was the most hostile towards me the last time we met. Before heading back to the dormitory, I sat on the beach overlooking the Divine Ministry, watching as it slowly became engulfed in the sunset. I needed some time alone to organize my thoughts and strengthen my resolve. There you are. Been hiding here. Oh, him. But my peaceful break was shattered in an instant. A familiar yet detestable voice called out to me from right behind. You vanished without a trace like a rat, and I thought you were hiding somewhere. Turns out you were in the Divine Ministry. Did you join the Divine Ministry or something? I think that was your guys' plan to have me join one of you, and I didn't join you. At least not yet. The man in the bright red shirt, with his title the head of the Reaper Corps, excluded an intimidating presence. But for some reason, I didn't want to back down in front of him. Yes, I'm officially joined the Divine Ministry, with his permission. And you're already calling him by name, huh? Yeah, I'm just doing his because it's easier to pronounce. He told me to address him by that way. Is there any problem? Just such nerve for such a small person. But no matter how awful his personality was, he was still the head of one of the divine organizations. His piercing gaze wasn't just uncomfortable, it was suffocating, sending an overwhelming sense of dread through my chest. As we glared at each other, like we were ready to kill, the sky darkened, revealing a deep blue of the night. Interesting. And that's when... what the... why can't I breathe? Oh. Who in the world does this guy think he is? Even though it was obvious I was struggling, catching my throat, gasping for air, the head of the Reaper Corps just watched with a smug smile. Oh, we're gonna take a guess, and he's gonna be the least likable. Did that guy just cast some kind of spell on me? Otherwise, there's no way he would just stand there grinning when I was choking like this. But I must warn you about one thing. You can move freely between the Divine Ministry and the Holy Knights, Digimon. But under no circumstances should you enter the Reaper Corps, which is overseen by Heisen Colonel for the time being. Yeah, that's probably why. So this man is Heisen Colonel, the head of the Reaper Corps. Huh? You'd think he would be the more, like, chill of them, like how he looks, but he's... Fud. Recalling his warning, I immediately fled the scene. I couldn't hear any footsteps behind me, so it seemed like the head of the Reaper Corps wasn't falling. But no matter how far I ran, the suffocating feeling, as if I were the verge of death, wouldn't go away. So he probably did that in the night before. My vision slowly started to blur. Even so, I kept running, driven by the desperate need to escape. Fud. What? Unable to see clearly, I had accidentally bumped into someone. And when I looked up in shock. What I saw was a cold, stern face, just like the one from the night before. It was him. We're safe. Just wait, the sun has set. Why are you leaving the Divine Ministry? It's just... Cough. Did you encounter someone? Who did you run into? The head of the Reaper Corps. Meeting him means that you were outside the protective magic barrier of the Divine Ministry. Please, I'll ask him for help. Please help me. I can't breathe. As soon as I began to beg for help, he pulled me into his arms. Leaning on him to barely keep my balance, I slowly took in the magic he was channeling into me. The spell should erase your pain enough until I can fix the problem. You're in a lot of pain, but you did well to stay composed and ask for my help, Digimon. With him gently helping me breathe, I slowly returned to normal. Thankfully, the spell he used wasn't painful. It was meant to help me breathe properly again. Stops the asthma attack? Okay, I like him. He's my favorite. Digital Wave, you must remember that I'm not about what I'm about to tell you. And that was his last chapter. If you like my content, please subscribe. The last chapter for the demo. If you like my content, please subscribe, like the bell, help out, and comment down. I'll see you guys next time.